this audit is not only the financial audit, but looking into the scheme and all that. I would say this, there are reports available online. If you see those reports, you will find out that there are significant observations relating to many things like excess revenue, excess expenditure, revenue expenditure or capital expenditure over the budget. So auditors are doing a post-mortem and saying that these are the excess. So somebody has to look into what is the mechanism through which this excess was approved and all that. And then performance audit. That is a very important aspect of this municipal audit, where auditors do point out the utilization or non-utilization of certain things. Say, for example, market complex has been developed by the municipality, but it is not yet occupied. So that means this some amount of capital expenditure has been done, however, that is not utilized. This also comes into the purview of audit. So you can understand how is the diversity and how is the operational nature of the audit. Looking into the social welfare scheme, if the waste management is an important area, now the auditor has to look into whether the pollution control board approval is there for waste management, how is the waste being managed, disposed of, and all that things. So these guidelines give not only the audit, what are the audit findings will be there, but they also give us the follow-up and action taken, as we do in the case of other internal audits or audits. So generally, if we talk about the general legal framework, the local fund auditors are officer of the state government. If we talk about West Bengal in particular, West Bengal doesn't have any separate audit department, but it is under the office of the Principal Accountant General of Audit, and which is actually an offshoot of the CAG. So this is the legal framework. I'll now go into certain other aspect. So you see, again, as I was saying about the characteristics of these autonomous and local bodies, they deliver essential services, which has got complex legal framework. But actually, the way these budgets and the receipt and expenditure account is done, so there is a big process which takes place, and this annual budget is generally being approved by the chairman of the borough or mayor in council, whoever may be the case. So auditor actually needs to see whether there is a diversion of fund. Like diversion of funds means, say a fund has been given by the central government for a particular purpose, say for development of forest in certain area, but that fund has been utilized for the road development or something. So those things also auditors has to look into whether there has been diversion. And another thing which I have found in the audit reports is that the auditors generally talk about the theft, defalcation, misappropriation, and they also state whether those have been reported to the police and what are the actions taken. So you can understand what is the auditor's role and how much challenging the audit is in these local bodies. Because I will later dwell about what are the challenges and what are the really for the CS to come in that level. You see, unique risk factors in local governance is your financial mismanagement, compliance issues, cyber security threats, because many of the now the situation has improved definitely, but there have been issues where the cyber security was not looked into properly. So you see, there are natural disasters. For example, there's a flood, there's where immediate action has to be taken, and where the funds, whatever has been allocated, has to be mobilized quickly. So those issues are socio-political issues. However, as accountants and auditors, we have to look into how those have been dealt with, whether there have been proper transparency, and if, say for example, so many tons of tirpals or dry foods have been dispatched to the flood affected area. So is there anything to monitor, or everything has been out from the godown of the municipalities and it is not accounted for? That cannot be. So what are the mechanisms that the auditors, accountants has to keep a track on that? Then there will be normal, like what we did face, like non-adjustment of advance, cash book is not properly maintained, or it is not real time. All those things are very common in the municipal accounts. So coming to the internal control system of local bodies, it's a control environment. So there will be some control activities, monitoring, information and communication channel is very important, and then risk management. All this which has been mentioned over here, I'll little bit elaborate on those. So coming to the next one. So control activities means how you are documenting, how is your approval process, whether there is a delegation of authority which is there, whether there is a maker-checker concept, how your banking limits have been set up. All these things are coming into the approval process. Segregation of duties obviously is very important, and then reconciliation, auditing and all that. Say for example, tender. Tender is very necessary aspect in the municipal working. So anything which is more than 50 lakhs, maybe some revision has been done, has to be tendered. That means tender has to be published. So how the tendering process is there, how you are transparent to open the tenders and then approval of those, that is the control activities. And then establishing a clear communication channel for sharing information, like all these committees, if you see, these committees, borough committees and other mayor, all these people are like, they are not, what I can say, they are not paid staff, they are all politically appointed. But how they are getting involved in these information and communication, whether the approval process is there, all this coming into the information and communication. Next is the monitoring. Regularly assessing the effectiveness and efficiency of the internal control system. Like now most of the municipal corporations are moving to the ERP environment. So these ERP configurations and all, how it is done, so we have to assess that, and who is able to have the super rights and other normal ERP configuration. So in this monitoring plays a big role of your adequate and qualified staffing of the department. So while I was talking about the monitoring in a general accounting parlance, but however there are monitoring of the scheme, which I earlier also mentioned, that all government has got lot of schemes. So all these schemes has a specific rules and guidelines, how these schemes has to run and what are the parameters within which this scheme will run, whether these beneficiaries of those schemes are like the genuine beneficiaries, all those things are coming into the monitoring part of it. Then the compliance with laws and regulation, ensuring all activities is aligned with different laws. So, say for example, in West Bengal, we for municipal accounts and panchayat, we have so many laws. Just to mention a few, as West Bengal Municipal Corporation Act of 2006, West Bengal Municipal Finance and Accounting Rules, 1999. Then there are different resolutions taken in the bureau committees and different councils. So all these things, as an auditor, one has to read out, understand, and all these minutes to be looked into to do a proper internal control assessment. So accountability, obviously, auditing standards, we know institute has given auditing standards, so we follow those standards, and generally as chartered accountants we do follow those standards. But however, the officers of the municipal corporations, because many audits are taken by the in-house departments, so they are also required to follow those standards for a more transparent and viable audit. So let us discuss more in detail about the challenges. You see, first we see that there are diverse regulations. What I already told, there are relevant acts, rules, regulations. So one has to take care, as my previous speaker was saying, that the staffs in the municipal corporation or panchayats may not be so much qualified. Here comes the CA role, the Chartered Accountants role as advisors, which I'll definitely cover in length later on. So they definitely can help to how the governance can be done. So limited resource, obviously that's a concern always, like human resource quality and your quality and quantity both are challenge, and as auditors also we get that challenge because we don't get that support from the staff. So revenue streams, there are diverse revenue streams, as my previous speaker was also mentioning. So we auditors have to ensure the accurate recording, reporting and all that, whether for example municipal tax area or how much area is there. So all those things need to look into on, and then we can advise on the taxation matter, we can advise on the financial management, and we as chartered accountants we can develop and implement governance structures, improve internal controls, conduct audits, providing strategic risk management, advise to enhance the accountability and transparency. So basically all these will ultimately for the betterment of the trust and credibility. So it will enhance credibility and trust of the general public. So CA definitely can be a big support to all these local municipal bodies. Little more details if we deal in. So CS conducts audit of financial statement of local bodies and look into the financial health according to accounting standard of local bodies, as my previous speaker was also telling that ICAI has developed 27 ALSBs, but these are actually mandatory in nature, not yet adopted for nothing has been mentioned in the Gazette, but obviously this is being followed mostly by the auditors. You see, traditionally municipal accounts have been made in cash basis, and CAs are definitely handholding with the accountants to how to go into accrual system of accounting. So that will obviously improve the financial reporting decision makings, but I can say that has not happened in totality. So the actual system of accounting is not yet fully implemented in the local bodies, but however, the effort is on to make it mandatory. Still the cash basis of accounting is there, but obviously the effort is there, and people are understanding the need of those things. So obviously internal control, as I have already spoken, identification of risk, looking into existing control, suggesting what are the proposed control, what are the mitigating risk factor, and all that is part of the governance process. Budgeting is a very important part of municipal working, because each and every scheme and activities, there is receipt payments and budget is prepared, passed in the council meeting. So chartered accountants are more equipped to draw the budgets according to standard practices, and then do the tax planning, risk management, and how local authorities can monitor the budgets. So developing the MIS system, like what is the system through, what are the dashboards which are important to place to the councils to look into how the progress is there, what are the deviations and all that. That is advisory function which chartered accountants can definitely do very well. And obviously there are so many acts which are relevant for these corporations. Compliance with those acts are forte of the chartered accountants, because we have to go through the laws, and we continue to update ourselves with new statutes and all. So again, maybe certain repetition is there, like risk identification and assessment. We deeply understand the process, and we look into different kind of risk, liquidity risk, market risk, IT system failure, cyber security, all those things we understand, and chartered accountants are like doing multiple qualifications, and obviously are experts in many fields. So we generally can advise on those aspects, and also to mitigate those, how this risk can be mitigated based on our experience elsewhere. We can definitely suggest to the local bodies. So internal control I already discussed. So to establish a robust internal control system, we chartered accountants can prepare the delegation of authority. We look into the segregation of duties, what are the conflicts, make a checker, then real-time transaction, because many of the earlier cases we have found that the municipal bodies are recording the transaction after quite a long period gap. Setting the banking limits, etc., are very important to establish a robust internal control system. And obviously regulatory compliance on all that will definitely be looked into by the chartered accountants. Internal audit and assurance services, as I have already mentioned, is a area where chartered accountants can play a big role, and they are already playing that role. Reporting and communication, clear, transparent communication is very important. So we communicate to the councils, to the stakeholders, what are the high risk, what are the mitigations that currently is in place, what should be the ideal scenario, and relevant regulatory authorities if we want to report something, we can definitely report, and that is a communication which CAs definitely do. And advisory services, obviously, we offer strategic advice on risk management, helping autonomous bodies make informed decisions on potential risks and rewards, also developing and implementing robust MIS systems and reporting formats, because what are the reporting formats, how it is the data is extracted for those reports, those can be developed and can play a big role in maintaining transparent accounting of the local bodies. So for risk assessment, this is, I think, this is all known to all of you. So plot the risk as identified and determine the grade of risk by their severity, significance. So all those rates are high alert. So immediately on finding, we have to report those, and whatever is the other yellow and green can be mitigated, and the risk can be severity and likelihood is a matrix which is being followed for several years, I believe. We understand this. So this is a simple thing which we can put in while assessing the risk of a local municipal body. So till now we have been talking about the risk and all. Now coming to the regulatory aspect. So there are so many tax, income tax, GST and other. So how chartered accountants can be a partner in giving guidance how to deal with this, and how to meet the statutory obligation is a role which is a very important role, and I think government has already understood the role of chartered accountants in compliance management. So to deal with this, the simple thing which the corporates are following can be adopted by putting a compliance matrix, like what are the date of filing of your GST return, your income tax return, what are the other returns, all those can be compiled and adopted by the local bodies, and then it will be very easy to review that in the council meeting, that if there is a delay in filing those, or are we paying the PF on time, all those, and gratuities of the employees of the municipalities, whether they have been given, and what are the compliances that has been done and not. Financial management guidance. CAs offer strategic advice on financial matter, like I have told, the budgeting, resource management, and specific formats. So budgeting is a very elaborate exercise which activity-wise has to be done, and it has to have all the cost elements. What my previous speaker was saying, that how the costing is done. There are costing or rates which have been taken very long back. So how to revise those rates, to give a guideline to the local body, even make a presentation to the councils to make those budgetary estimation more realistic, rather than just an exercise, and which actually every time we see escalation of actual expenditure much more than the budget. So it might be the reason of not proper budgeting based on the costing which we have, and what are the basis of those costing. And for example, there's an activity which is supposed to be done by outsourcing, because obviously you know that municipal corporation doesn't have staff for all the activities. So many things are outsourced and done through private parties. So what to do to assess the outsourcing cost, and what are the elements of the outsourcing cost, what are the, say there is a long-term contract with those outsourcing parties. So if there is a escalation clause, and what are the rate contracts, and all those has to be looked into. For example, I have the experience that even the municipal corporations are for their employees not looking into the tax aspect. They have outsourced those work to some CA firm. Such a simple thing that the tax is deducted from the employees and the supportings are collected. For that activity has been outsourced to a CA firm, just because the staffs are not equipped, or they are defaulting, like they are not taking on the basis of certain declaration, verbal also, they have deducted less tax. When the time comes for the return, then it is found that nothing is available. So that's a situation. To escape from that situation, corporations are employing CA firms to do that thing. For the initial period it is okay, but the proper guidance and handholding of those staff is very important, so that the basic activities of the financial management can be done by them. As I was telling that there are defaults in statutory return filing and all that, which chartered accountants are doing as such in many municipalities. That's a good opportunity for chartered accountants, no doubt, but as well as exposes that there are lack of urge for getting that education, or to basically come up with the latest standards. However, chartered accountants are making, rather ensuring, I would say, that there is no penalties or legal issues which are generally resolved by the chartered accountants. So, role of chartered accountant in compliance management has become very important. You will find there are a lot of training programs nowadays goes on for capacity building. So these training programs are taken by CA firms, and these training programs are for the staffs of the municipal corporation. So how to do the basic accounting, overall budgeting process, everything is generally getting CAs are giving training for those, and these are ongoing practices which take place. So this is another aspect which definitely is very important, that collaboration with the state authorities. So CAs can assist state authorities in amending relevant legislation to facilitate accounting reforms and improve compliance within local and autonomous bodies. This is a statement which we say, but this is a fact that all the state governments are deploying chartered accountants, individual capacity or as a firm, to basically look into the legislation. Like I have mentioned that West Bengal government has come out with different legislation. Those legislations can be amended looking into the international scenario and international best practices. So those legislations can, since many of the big firms are privy to international best practices, so state government increasingly getting help from the CA firms to get assistance in making the legislation more realistic and more transparent, so that the public use of funds is properly monitored, and there is accountability for all the people who are meant to deal with this municipal corporation. It is a great pleasure to see so many people are coming. So
Mayor of Kolkata is also coming.
That's why. Is he? They are for him, or they are from the CA Institute? I think they are all students.
From the institute, sir.
Huh?
From the institute.
Institute. Yeah. So I'll not take much time.
You take much time.
Oh,
Yes.
Another 10 minutes I'll take.
20 minutes take.
Okay. So key reforms and initiatives. So basically, accrual-based double accounting system, which is not there here in this case. So our effort is to bring in double entry accounting system in the urban local body to seriously adopt accrual system of accounting, and making already the beginning has been done, but I think we need to have legislature to support this activity. So you see, my previous speaker has already discussed about the ASLBs. These are designed to improve the financial reporting and transparency in the local bodies. So these are very well thought out accounting standards which have been developed. However, these standards are not become mandatory as such. So that is where ICAI is pushing, so that we get this standard notarized, and then the all the accounting and auditing activity will be more robust. So I think the reforms have already focused on strengthening the audit process within municipal bodies. External and internal audits are now more rigorously conducted, with emphasis on compliance with new accounting standard and practice. I think internal audit play a big role in bringing transparency. So internal audit obviously go through all the aspects, including the operational. I think Mr. Nirmal's phone is lying over here. Yes. Yeah, I noticed that, so I thought I. So audit accountability is very important. And last but not the least is the some of the RTI, Right to Information Act 2005, make a big role in promoting transparency and accountability in urban local bodies. It requires government bodies to disclose financial and operational information to the public, ensuring that ULBs maintain transparency in their financial practices. I must mention over here a very popular case, Union of India versus Almitra Patel. This is poor management of waste and environment pollution in Delhi, where government of Delhi was, with this RTI filed against the government of Delhi and central government. The Supreme Court actually ordered to give more transparent information and to come out with concrete plans how the environmental pollution in Delhi is being dealt with, and what are the efforts, what are the funds being released on those. So this is the power of the RTI, through which the public can demand the information and demand like what are the things which should be the natural thing which should be adopted. Moving ahead, few more reforms. Public Disclosure Law 2008. The PDL mandates the disclosure of financial operating information by ULBs, setting a precedent for transparency, accountability, and uniform reporting structure. Next is the training and capacity building. Both ICAI and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development have been actively involved in conducting training programs for municipal accountants and auditors. National Municipal Accounts Manual, developed by the Ministry of Housing Development Board based on a task force report of CAG. The manual mandates the preparation of key financial statements such as income and expenditure statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Though many of the municipalities are yet to drop the balance sheet, they are basically doing the cash flow and income expenditure. Integration with IT system, as I have already mentioned, that government has made a big leap in modernizing the accounting system and transparency through Audit Online, and already many of the municipal bodies are adopting to more standardized accounting system, like Tally is mostly now getting used, and over the years we'll see international and more robust ERP systems to be adopted by the municipal bodies. Regular monitoring and evaluation, obviously regular internal audit, risk management exercise is being conducted, and effectiveness of internal control system to look into the areas of improvement. I'll now come to the, I think I've taken 45 minutes now to conclude. So critical role of CAs, the pace of accounting reforms has direct impact on the accounting profession, and CAs can support in improving the financial reporting, management, and establish a culture of accountability and enhance transparency in financial operations. In this respect, obviously our institute is well ahead. ICAI, through its course on public finance and government accounting, is making aware the members about the challenges in this field, and obviously these courses are help to take these opportunities and also understand what are the opportunities as well as the challenges, and we become more competent to take the full benefit of the opportunities. This is I would say the local body audits, internal audit and risk management is an unexplored area. It is not fully explored. We generally concentrate on the corporate side, but this is a area which is definitely a big opportunity for the CAs. A joint initiative of ICAI and Office of the CAG will also help in creation of employment opportunities for qualified candidates near the home locations in panchayats and municipal bodies as well as in MSME sectors. Presently, CAs are not employed in the municipal corporation as such, but that days are not very far when the government will understand. Not only CAs, I would say all the other fellow professional bodies can come join the local municipal corporation, because they are having huge activities and huge management. So these will be more professionally driven by the CAs and other professions. Just to conclude, I think the best step by ICAI is through the Committee of Public Government Financial Management Committee, who has formulated this SLB's benchmarking with international public sector accounting standard issued by IFAC. These ALSBs are submitted to Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and Ministry of Panchayat Raj for adaptation by the state governments. These standards are presently recommendatory in nature and will made mandatory once the state government adopts this. I think this will be not very far away when these standards are adopted, because government can understand the complexities, and naturally this will be adopted in near future. So good governance in public accounts as per standard will ensure transparency and will ultimately foster better services to the citizen of India. So to conclude, in the words of the Mahatma Gandhi, independence must begin at the bottom. Thus every village will be a republic or a panchayat having full power. So that will be the ultimate objective, that there will be autonomous power. Thank you very much for patient hearing.
Hello. If anyone have any questions, so we have 5 minutes, so any query related you had? You want to? I have a question. Yeah, please.
Krishanu, the question, I am getting a little nervous.
No, not nervous. You are talking about internal control, you are talking about transparency, you are talking about so many things with respect to urban local bodies. Is there any transparency and internal control in urban local bodies in the state of West Bengal?
Sir, very difficult question you have posed. So I cannot state a answer that, but obviously the effort is there. I think that is what I can say. And
In the first session, I have talked one thing. If you ask a question to get the name of the previous auditor, they won't provide you the name. So this is the transparency, and I have witnessed that. So that's why I am asking this question.
Anyone on the house? Any more questions? Sir is available to answer.
Very nice presentation.
thank you so much. So I think people have understood, and the presentation is there. We can deliver it upon. Thank you so much.
So it's indeed a very wonderful session. Sir, I think you got your answer. Now, with this, I thank our guest speaker of the day, of the session, C.A. Devashish Ghoshji, for taking out the time from his very busy schedule. Obviously, he is a very busy person. Yes. And giving us great insight about the factors to be kept in mind while doing the internal audits of the government organization, the risk management, strengthening audit of local bodies, the role of CAG and Financial Commission, and much more. With this, we end this session. Memento is there? Was it already provided? So, for the next session, guest, there is some much more. The Honorable Mayor is about to come in next 15-20 minutes. The inauguration session is there. So thank you all for your patience learning. Thank you, sir, for such a nice deliberations. And thank you, everyone.